Hello, everyone. So, without wasting time, let's get into the topic directly. So, this is one of the most frequently asked, what is HHR? So, without wasting time, I will just get right to it. So, HHR is just price points where price tends to return. So, what does that mean? So, price goes anywhere, price will come back to it. So how do I find it? So there are multiple ways. Like some are volume based, so like volume clusters where like a lot of transactions happen. Some are time based, some are price based, and some are like this is just TPO. Like I use TPO to find this HRs. Like it's a bit complicated one how to explain, but there's a simple one which is map based. Some are indicator based and a lot of stuff. But this is an introductory part of the HH. I have like more than 25 HHRs on all assets, Nifty, ES, Bitcoin, and crude oil. Some have really like good high probability, like 96% and above. I only consider which have like 90 and above, so that gives me around like 25 HHRs. Without bragging about it furthermore, so let's get into it. This is a very simple one, which I use it, but with the combination of volume based HHRs. So let's get into it. So this is basically a simple one. This is just 50% of the day. So like there's a catch to it, like on which days to consider it and which days to ignore it, and that's what makes it a HHR. So let me explain it. So just mark day high and low, day high, day low, and 50% of it. If next day opens inside the candle, so there's a very high probability. I won't give you the exact number. I would love like if some of you put in the time and try to find what's the percentage. I know the percentage, I have been using it for a while, but unless you put in the work, you won't be able to see it. So I will just explain it properly. So mark high and low of the session and 50% of it. So next day, if the price opens inside the day range, so there's like very high probability it will touch the 50%, like today's case, previous day high and low, and then the 50% mark, and we have touched it. Previous day, mark the high and low, there's 50%, mark the 50%, and next day we open within the high low range and we touch the 50%. Likewise, we take this, yeah, high and low is okay. This question, like, why am I skipping this? So if we mark high and low of the day, the next day has opened or like ticked outside the high low range. Okay, let me just mark it for you. It will be easier. So as you can see, the day has opened outside it. So this day I'm not looking to target this one. So this is why I skipped this one. But on this day, mark the high and low, mark the 50% we have opened within the day range. So it will touch the 50%. So likewise, same thing. If we like mark the high and low, we are open inside day and we are touching the 50%. Okay, here on this day, we have marked the high and low, and the 50% we have also opened inside. So my bias was from the day start, like I'm also using reference of other multiple HHRs. So I was looking for short opportunities. I took a short, but like gave a SL over here. I took a short and this gave me 100 points. My bias was still bearish, like it has a higher probability for the next 4 days. So first day it was with a bearish bias and took a short, held it and got like 100 points. Next day I came in, I took shorts and another short, like 2 SLs. It's okay. And this day was a neutral one, not in 2 SLs, like it was 1 SL, 10 points, probably 15 because of the decay and all that stuff. But okay, so gave a stop loss. It was also expiry, so I was actually expecting like Tuesday expiry range will expand, but it was job day, and yep, that's his history. Took loss, but as soon as it opened with another gap outside it, I neglected this one. So I wasn't looking to target. Once we have opened with a gap outside this range, I have skipped this level. So again, over here. So mark the high and low of the session, mark the 50%. If you can look closely over here, so we haven't touched it yet. So basically we will be touching it in the next 4 days. First day, second day, and second day we have touched it. So my bias was bullish over here and over here. So actually took the shorts because we had some other HHR levels around this zone. So yeah, that was one win over here, but I skipped it because it was already a 750 points week gain for me, and I took a pause. So but you can see it played out actually. So let's again, if we mark the high and low of this range, we have opened with a huge gap, and I'm not looking to target the 50%. As you can see, the 50% range over here. Okay, 50% range actually touched, but there's a condition which I have used to not target it, which is like if it opens outside, I'm skipping it. Again, then one of the previous days, so high and low is marked and the 50%, and next day a swing failure pattern over here, the target would be this, a clear victory. So it's like I use HHRs to make a bias or like to set places where I can look to book profits, like easy save booking. If price continues to move well and fair. And this day, like I had like some HHRs around this level. So I was looking like this was a fair value gap. I was looking to target this fair value, like I said, TPO based, a single print around this region, and I was targeting this. So it's like you can gather stats on everything, every order block made on a chart, every fair value gap that's been made, every hourly 50% or every 4 hour on multiple assets, 4 hours, some assets 12 hours. So you have to gather data to see which 50% work, which fair value gap works, which order block works. Like these have more than 90% probabilities, and sometimes they don't work. Some like we have been skipping 2 3 order blocks this past 7 days, and as a result I'm losing out on some gains. So that's the thing when you have like statistical or like number based levels to trade off. So again, the 50% mark is marked over here, and the high and the low is marked. We have opened inside the range, swing failure patterns over here, and we are targeting the 50%. Likewise, we open inside range 50%. Likewise, we open inside the range, target the 50%. Here we open outside this range and the condition doesn't apply. So we skip it. Again, this is whole range and we open inside the range and we are targeting the 50%. I'm also looking to fill this fair value gap at least partially. So that was my bias, because like, yeah, we opened with the gap. Ideally, I wanted to fill the gap, but part of the game sometimes it doesn't fill at all. So I will be covering the gap fill and all other HLs in the near future. So if you like how I gather the data and all the stuff, do subscribe so you don't miss out on the videos I upload with some logical and statistical approaches to the market. So again, here we might have, oh yeah, we actually open outside, but you get the idea. Like we are touching the 50%, but the condition is met over here. 50% is marked, and yeah, same result. Again, 50% is marked. I have a bearish bias because of the 50%. I took a short, but it's short day, gain 20 points or something. And again, so yeah, this 50% marked, we instantly touched it. So yeah, here's the thing. Mark high and low, mark the 50%, we haven't touched it. So I had a bearish bias, held the shorts all day, got like 200 points on this day. Next day I still had a short bias, and as a result we didn't make much on this day or this day over here. So what can I say? Yeah, so it's just part of the game. Sometimes we do, and that's the homework part of this video, that you have to sit and collect the data, like which levels to target and which not to, and find the probability, like what's the winning odds. The thing is like how I came up with this, like I just had this vague idea, like let's see what happens to the 50% on the hourly candle. Hourly candle was giving good results, and then I switched to daily time frame, and I was getting like 60-70% probability that it will touch the 50%. Then while gathering the data, I figured like on the days which is it's opening outside the range, I could just skip it completely. And this is why I urge everyone to gather their own data or scheme their own charts. While doing so, you might be able to figure out like on which days to skip it. Like one of this, I skipped out. Like I shouldn't be targeting because there was a gap. You might be looking at charts in a different way, and you will figure out a much better or like a systematic way to skip these levels. And yeah, because you have learned from different mentors and you have a lot better skill sets than I can have with volume and all that OI stuff. So you can mix it up and might have a bigger HHR or might even end up with a high 100% HHR. So who knows? So I would really urge to get the data from your perspective. So let's continue doing so. So high low is marked, 50% touched, high low is marked. Next day we will have a bearish bias and we touch the 50%. Um, High low is marked, 50%. We are bullish for the day bias, and yeah, that's it. And high low is marked, and yeah, some days you can anticipate it. Like if you are already having a bearish bias and price is moving upside, next day you can expect it to fill. So you can already take a like a gamble or like a predefined short for to target the 50%. Something like if it has already expanded over average daily or weekly range, and you can target the 50%. So again over here, so high low is marked 50%. Next day we open inside, but we failed. Next day we touch on like first day, second day, like I'm considering it till 4 days. So this day we touch the 50%. Again, we have high low 50% day range, but we open outside, but still it touched the 50%. Likewise, we opened outside, so skipping it. So again 50%, we opened outside, skipping it. But uh, yeah, but you get the point, like 50% range touch, same 50% we touched. Over here we open right outside, so I'm skipping this. We opened outside, we still touch 50%, but skipping it. Again we touched, we opened inside the range, and we will be targeting the 50% in the next 4 days, like first day, second day, third day, and fourth day. Fourth day you could see like just go horizontally, and we can see it actually touch the 50%. So this is the whole idea of HHRs. So this could be anything, like sometimes like just fair value gap, sometimes it's just the order blocks, sometimes it's something on the TPO, like there's a different combination on a TPO which is not so normal. Some HHRs are just based off poor high, poor lows, or some based off New York session high lows, some based off like different stuff. There are multiple things. So I would be covering them in the near future. But as of now, this is how you can start looking at the market, like where is price tending to go back to. Like there, like mostly I'm using TPO and volume profile, but this is also where I got the idea from the TPO, like TPO, all TPO indicators or like tools have the 50% black thing. So that's how I clicked me, and like let's test the 50% mark. So like ask the right questions and you will see a lot of stuff. So without wasting time, let's get back to the main topic at hand. 50%, 50%, 50%, 50% touched all. Okay, over here we open inside 50% mark over here. So first day we didn't touch it, on next second day we didn't, and third day we actually did. So likewise, we open inside, mark the 50% over here. We open inside, mark target the 50% over here. But on this day, we open outside and we are skipping the 50% of this. Again, we opened outside this range over here because here was the high and here was the open. So there was a gap, and I'm no longer targeting the 50% of this. Again, over here, this was a volatile day, and again the 50%. again. Okay, yeah, here's an example where it actually failed. So until now, like June to September, June, July, August, September, like in 4 months range, we almost had like the second failure of this one. So high low is marked. No, actually we opened outside. Okay, my bad. It's like I am marking this manually, so it's like I was just marking them all. So we actually opened with a gap outside, and we are skipping this 50% range. Again, this whole volatility, we open side and we are targeting 50%, clear 50%, 50%, 50% again. Okay, so in 4 months, we have the second failure over here. Yeah, first one was somewhere like 2 months next the time, and here's the another one. So it's okay. We went side and we haven't tested the 50% mark. So it could have been bearish around this point, or like bearish on this day, or bearish on this day, and bearish on this day. It's like you still made money, but you get the idea where we were targeting. And after 4th day, we gave up on this level. We give up on targeting this level. So after 4 days, I'm invalidating this idea that we will be touching it. We might touch it, but I'm not targeting it. So again, 50% over here, we open with a huge gap. So I'm not targeting the 50%. Again, over here, we inside. And again, like this day are like completely inside of each other, and even this are like sort of engulfed. So we know the 50% is touched. Over here, we opened with a gap, and we are not targeting the 50%. Over here, we 50% and we touched it. Over here, this is an interesting example. So we opened inside, but we haven't touched the 50%, and like for the next 4 days it haven't touched. So a failure over here. So the probability goes, okay, that's the homework. You have to find out what's the probability. I won't be giving the probability, or else you will just target it. And there are this, I gave you only one condition when not to target it, but there are multiple conditions you can come up with. I have also multiple conditions when to go aggressively targeting this, and when to go on light more targeting this. So as you collect the data, you will see a lot of things on which day you should be targeting and which not to. I'm repeating is because like many will do blindly. And even though I have like a lot of HHRs with 92 and 92 and above probabilities, I have like 25 levels, but I still make losses. So if you are trying to be profitable without gathering the data, without testing it, then you might be also taking heavy losses than I am taking on days which you lose. Okay, that's the thing. It's like, okay. So again, we open outside, not targeting the 50%. We are inside day, so obviously we touch the 50% again. Okay, this is an interesting example. We the high and low, we open inside. First day, second day, third day, we actually touch the 50%. Same, touch the 50%. So I think I stopped marking around here. We actually opened with the gap, so not targeting. So we already inside, and we like sort of engulfing. So we already touched the 50%, and so on. So you get the idea. Even over here, this is the low, this is the high of the day. So like just if you are using the magnet, just hold the shift and extend it. So yeah, here's the 50%. We open inside. Here you could be bullish, but like loss on the loss, and hold it till here, and we hit the second day. Like you would have gained like 10 points loss, 10 20 points loss, and 30 on 30 point you would have got like 250 points around this. But like hypothetically speaking, anything is possible. But I'm just sharing like how to get this levels, get the logic behind it. I have like more than 25, so stay tuned. I will be sharing it over time. It's one of the, including in the free course, because like I have spent thousands of dollars trying to understand the TPO the way I do, and the rest is history. Okay, I have some like I continue marking it because like I have seen something. Okay, we will continue because if I marked it, and I only marked it because I want to show something. Okay, yeah, and we opened inside, but on first day, second day, third day, we actually touched it. Again, inside first day, second day, third day, fourth day, we touched it. Okay, yeah, here's the interesting part. April and March was sort of a trendy month. So here we didn't get the level on most days. Here it was inside day, so we sort of touched it already. 50% mark the high low. So we already touched the 50%, but yeah, when we are in a trend, we usually get a gap up sort of thing. So on those days, we can like fairly skip the 50%. So again, 50%. Okay, here we failed. So it's our third failure in like April, May, June, July, August, September. Like 6 months, it's our third failure. So fair enough. And back-to-back failures. Okay, 4 failures in 6 months. We'll take it. So again, okay, over here we did the 50% despite like opening inside first day, second day, third day we actually touched the 50%. Over here we actually opened outside, but still we are touching the 50%, so I'm not considering that. And here's the interesting part of the March, because March was a trendy month. Okay, I wonder, like, this is still range, and like you can see we have fairly a lot of times. So here this was one failure, because like this ain't gonna work when we are in a trendy market. Here we actually touched, okay, first day, second day, third day we actually touched the 50%. Here again 50% mark, first day, second day, yeah, second day we touched it. And here in where it get interesting, on trend days, like it's very rare for any index to continuously move up month on month, but there are some months in like 6 months or so that we will pick one side and we will move straight 1 week we're gonna be moving in one direction. So this was the point where it started, like a lot of accumulation and all that stuff, whatever that stuff you believe in or like trade. So we started outside the gap, so we are not targeting the 50% of it. Next day over here we are targeting high and low of the session. Actually we opened outside it, so already skipping the 50%. Again we opened here, but we continuously moved up, we invalidated. So even in the trendy week or trendy month we are losing like 2 days. Outside that, like in 6 months we are losing like 2 or 3 I guess. So you get the probability. So what I want you to do is like gather the probability, and with your own understanding figure out a way when to invalidate it and how to validate it. Unless you do so, you won't be like, you won't have the conviction to hold the trades to target these levels or any other sort of HSRs I will be sharing in the future, which will be based on TPO. So like this is like one of the basic mathematical level. Others are like bit complicated. You need a good understanding of TPO, like how TPO slopes work and all that stuff. So we'll be getting back to it after I cover the TPO and VWAP session, because like there's a lot of correlation between VWAP and the profiles. So get back to it. So again, so before I leave or close the video, so we have marked, if we open anywhere inside current day's range, I will be targeting the 50%. And that's how, like how I generate the levels. So yeah, so I'd mark this with like percentage probability next day and the next 4 days. Okay, then that's it for this video. See you in the next one.